Hello everyone. Welcome to our grade 11 General Biology end of term 3 exam revision. In this review, we will go through the important ideas from digestion, nutrition and the endocrine system. One slide at a time. The goal is simple. Understand the key points clearly and revise only what you need for the exam. Listen carefully, connect each idea with the next and use this as a quick but strong revision before your test. Let's begin with digestion. Digestion begins in the mouth. Mechanical digestion happens when we chew food and break it into smaller pieces. This makes food easier to swallow and easier to digest. Chemical digestion also starts here. Saliva contains an enzyme called amylase. Breaks starch into simple sugars. Salivary glands food moist and soft. Keep food moist and soft. After chewing, food moves through the pharynx and enters the esophagus. So the mouth starts digestion in two ways. Physically by chewing and chemically using enzymes. The esophagus is a muscular tube connecting pharynx or throat to the stomach. Its main job is transport, not digestion. Food moves through the esophagus by peristalsis. Peristalsis is the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles. These muscles movement push food downward through the stomach. Even if a person is upside down, peristalsis can still move food. Remember, the esophagus does not digest food. Its main role is carrying food safely from mouth to the stomach. Different parts of digestive system take different amount of time to process food. In the mouth, digestion begins quickly and usually takes only a few seconds. The esophagus takes around 10 seconds to move food to the stomach. The stomach may digest food for several hours. The small intestine continues digestion and absorption for 3 to 4 hours. The large intestine takes the longest because it absorbs water and can take up to 2 days. Digestion needs time and teamwork. Nutrition is the process of taking in food and using it for growth, repair and energy. Our body depends on nutrients every day. Energy in food is measured using calories. A calorie tells us how much energy food can provide. Scientists can measure this by burning food and converting stored energy into heat. Food contains different amount of energy. The body uses this energy for movement, growth and body functions. Without proper nutrition, cell cannot work efficiently or stay healthy. Complex carbohydrates include substances like starch. These are large molecules made of long chain of sugar. During digestion, the body breaks them down into simple sugar. These simple sugar are absorbed through villi in the small intestine. One important sugar is glucose. Glucose can be used immediately for energy or stored in the liver for later use. Dietary fiber is also important. Fiber is not fully digested, but it helps food move through the digestive tract and support healthy digestion. Fats are the most concentrated source of energy in the body. They provide more energy than carbohydrates or proteins. Fats are classified as saturated and unsaturated. Digestion of fats mainly happens in small intestine. These fats are broken into fatty acids and glycerol. The smaller molecules are absorbed through the villi. Then they enter the circulation and travel through the body. Fat is important because it stores energy, supports cells, and helps the body perform many important functions. The pituitary gland is called the master gland because it controls many other endocrine glands. It is located at the base of the brain. The pituitary releases hormones that affect the thyroid gland, adrenal gland, testes, and ovaries. One important hormone is human growth hormone or HGH. This hormone stimulates cell division in muscles and bones. It is especially important during childhood and adolescence. The pituitary gland helps coordinate growth and keeps many hormone-related body activities under control. The thyroid gland produces thyroxine. Thyroxine increases the body's metabolic rate, which means cells work faster and use more energy. The thyroid also produces calcitonin. Calcitonin helps lower calcium levels in the blood. The parathyroid gland produces parathyroid hormone or PTH. PTH increases calcium level in the blood. These hormones work together to maintain calcium balance. Calcium is important for bones, muscles, and nerves. This balance helps keep body systems working normally every day. The adrenal glands are found above the kidneys. They have two main parts, the cortex and the medulla. The cortex produces hormones like aldosterone and cortisol. Aldosterone helps control sodium balance and works with the kidneys. Cortisol helps regulate blood glucose and is released during stress. The medulla produces epinephrine and norepinephrine. These hormones create the flight or fight response. They increase heart rate, breathing rate, blood pressure, and blood sugar, preparing the body for emergencies and fast action. The pancreas have two very important roles in the body. First, it produces digestive enzymes that help break down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Second, it releases the hormones insulin and glucagon. These hormones help maintain homeostasis by controlling blood sugar level. Insulin helps body cells absorb glucose and store extra glucose as glycogen in the liver. Glucagon does the opposite. It tells the liver to convert glycogen back into glucose. Together, these hormones keep blood sugar balanced. Amino acid hormones are also called non-steroid hormones. They are made from amino acids. Unlike steroid hormones, they cannot pass through the plasma membrane because they are not lipid soluble. Instead, they attach to the receptors found on the surface of the target cell membrane. Once attached, they send signals in the cell and cause specific response. This response may include activating enzymes or changing cell activity. These hormones help the body communicate quickly and regulate important body functions. The hypothalamus is an important part of the brain that helps maintain homeostasis. It produces two major hormones, oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone or ADH. Oxytocin helps in body function such as childbirth and certain muscle contraction. ADH is very important for water balance. It tells the kidneys how much water to reabsorb into the blood. This helps prevent too much water loss. The hypothalamus works closely with the pituitary gland to control hormones and maintain stable internal body conditions. Let's review digestion again. Mechanical digestion begins in mouth when teeth break food into smaller pieces. Chemical digestion also starts there with saliva. Saliva contains amylase, which breaks starch into sugar. Salivary glands also keep food moist and easier to swallow. After chewing, food passes through the pharynx and enters the esophagus. This first stage is important because it prepares food for the stomach and intestines. Digestion works best when food is broken down step by step. The digestive system includes several organs working together. The esophagus carries food to the stomach using peristalsis. The stomach has strong, smooth muscles that mix food. The stomach is also highly acidic. This acidic environment helps chemical digestion. Pepsin is an important enzyme in the stomach that digests proteins. Next, food moves to the small intestine. The small intestine is around 7 meters long. It continues digestion, absorbs nutrients, and pushes food forward through peristalsis. The liver is the largest internal organ in the body. One of its digestive job is producing bile. Bile helps break down the fats during digestion. The liver produces about 1 liter of bile every day. Extra bile is stored in the gallbladder. When the body needs it, the gallbladder releases bile into the small intestine. Sometimes gallstones can form inside the gallbladder. These are solid cholesterol crystals. Gallstones may block bile movement and affect normal digestion of fats. The small intestine is where most nutrients absorption happens. Food that has already been digested moves into this organ. Inside the small intestine are finger-like structures called villi. A single villus is called a villus. Villi increases the surface area of the intestine. More surface area means more nutrients can be absorbed into the bloodstream. These nutrients are then transported around the body. The villi are very important because they help the body absorb food efficiently and quickly. The following slide describes about 4 essential nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and vitamins and minerals. Carbohydrates are macromolecules such as starch, which are long chains of sugar. Proteins are broken down into their subunits called as amino acid. Fats are mostly concentrated energy source available to the body. They are of 2 types: saturated and unsaturated fats. Vitamin and minerals. Vitamins are organic compounds that are needed in a very small amount for metabolic activities, whereas minerals are inorganic compounds used by body as building material. Nutrition provides both building material and energy for the body. Energy balance happens when the calories we eat equal the calories we use. If we use more than what we eat, body mass decreases. If we eat more than what we use, body mass increases. A calorie measures food energy. Carbohydrates provide 4 calories per gram. Proteins also provide 4 calories per gram. Fats, on the other hand, provide 9 calories per gram. Energy needs can change depending on body weight, age, activity, and gender. The endocrine system controls body activities using hormones released by glands. The pituitary gland located at the base of the brain is called as the master gland. Because it regulates many body functions and controls other glands such as thyroid, adrenal glands, testes and ovaries. It produces human growth hormone which stimulates growth in muscles and bones, especially during childhood and adolescence. The thyroid gland produces thyroxine, which increases metabolism, and calcitonin, which lowers blood calcium levels. The parathyroid gland releases parathyroid hormone, which increases blood calcium. Together, these hormones work together through negative feedback to maintain homeostasis. The pancreas supports digestion by producing enzymes that break down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It also contains blood sugar using insulin and glucagon. Insulin lowers blood glucose by helping cells store glucose as glycogen, while glucagon raises blood glucose by changing glycogen back into glucose. This balance maintains homeostasis. Diabetes develops when insulin is not produced or not used properly. The adrenal glands located above the kidneys also help maintain balance. The cortex produces aldosterone and cortisol, while the inner medulla releases epinephrine and norepinephrine during stress, increasing heart rate, breathing rate, blood pressure, and blood sugar. The pancreas carefully controls blood glucose using feedback mechanism. When blood sugar is high, the pancreas releases insulin. Insulin tells liver and muscle cells to store glucose as glycogen. This lowers blood sugar. When blood sugar becomes low, the pancreas releases glucagon. Glucagon tells the liver to break glycogen into glucose and release it into blood. This raises blood sugar again. The opposite action keeps glucose level balanced and helps the body maintain homeostasis every day. Diabetes happens when the body cannot control blood sugar properly. In type 1 diabetes, the body cannot produce enough insulin. This usually appears earlier in life. Type 2 diabetes, body cells become less responsive to insulin. This is more common and usually develops later. Without proper insulin function, glucose remains in the blood instead of entering cells. Cells receive less energy while blood sugar increases. This is why insulin and glucose regulation are very important for healthy body function. The endocrine system is made up of glands that produce hormones. These hormones are released directly into the bloodstream and travel throughout the body. A hormone is a chemical messenger. It acts only on specific target cells or tissues and produces a particular response. Hormones help regulate growth, metabolism, reproduction, and many body activities. They help different body systems communicate with each other. Hormones are grouped into steroid hormones and non-steroid hormones based on how they are made and how they work. Feedback mechanism help keeps the body internal environment stable. This stability is called homeostasis. Negative feedback happens when the body returns a condition back to normal after it changes too much. A common example is a thermostat at home. If temperature rises too high, cooling starts. If temperature drops too low, heating starts. The body works the same way. Hormones and organs constantly respond to the changes and bring conditions back to a normal range for healthy body function. Hormones can be grouped into steroid hormones and amino acid hormone. Steroid hormones are lipid soluble because they dissolve in lipids. They can move through the plasma membrane and enter the target cell. Inside the cell, they bind to receptors and usually start protein synthesis. Amino acid hormones are different. They cannot pass through the membrane. Instead, they attach to receptors on the surface of cell. Both hormones type are important because they reach the cell in a different way. The pituitary gland is known as the master gland because it controls many other endocrine glands. It is located at the base of the brain. Hormones released from pituitary influence organs like thyroid gland, adrenal gland, testes and ovaries. One very important hormone is human growth hormone or HGH. Growth hormone stimulates cell division in muscle and bone tissue. It plays a major role during childhood and adolescence. The pituitary coordinates growth and hormone activity across the body. The adrenal glands are located above the kidneys. Their outer cortex produces aldosterone and cortisol. Aldosterone helps the kidney control sodium and maintain fluid balance. Cortisol helps regulate blood glucose and is often released during stressful situations. The inner medulla produces epinephrine and norepinephrine. These hormones prepare the body for emergencies. They increase heart rate, breathing rate, blood pressure and blood sugar. This is called the fight or flight response. The adrenal gland help the body react quickly to danger. Digestion and nutrition work together closely. Digestion breaks food into smaller molecules. Nutrition is how the body absorbs and uses these molecules. Carbohydrates become glucose, proteins become amino acids, and fats become fatty acids and glycerol. These nutrients are absorbed mainly through the small intestine and enter the bloodstream. Then body cell uses them for energy, repair and growth. Without digestion, nutrients cannot be absorbed. Without nutrients, cell cannot function properly. Both systems support survival. Vitamins are organic compounds needed in very small amounts. Even though the body needs only a little, vitamins are very important for normal metabolic activities. They help enzymes work properly and support body functions such as growth, immunity and tissue repair. The body usually gets vitamins from food. A balanced diet helps supply the correct amount. If the body does not receive enough vitamins, body functions may become weaker. Vitamins support healthy metabolism and help maintain overall body health. Minerals are inorganic compounds that the body needs for building and body functions. They help form structures like bone and teeth. Minerals are also important in metabolism, nerve activity and muscle coordination. Examples include calcium, iron and potassium. Calcium supports bone and muscle movement. Iron helps transport oxygen in the blood. Minerals are needed in small amount but they are essential. Without enough mineral, important body system may not function correctly. A healthy diet provides with these important nutrients. The endocrine system controls many body processes using hormones. The The pituitary gland controls other glands. The thyroid regulates metabolism. The parathyroid controls calcium balance. The adrenal gland helps during stress. The pancreas helps regulate blood glucose. Hypothalamus helps control water balance and hormone activity. Each gland has a special role, but all work together. Hormones travel through the blood to target cell and create responses. This teamwork helps maintain balance and support healthy body function. That brings us to the end of our grade 11 end of term 3 revision. Today we revised digestion, nutrition and the endocrine system. Remember the key ideas. Digestion breaks food down, nutrients provide energy, and hormones control important body activities. Focus on important terms like peristalsis, villi, insulin, glucagon, pituitary gland, and homeostasis. Try to connect organs with their functions. Understanding their relationship makes answering exam questions easier. Keep revising a little at a time, and all the best for your exam.